This is Anime. I'm Will, and this time I'm going to be talking about Log Horizon. Now, Log Horizon is an anime, yet again, about a group of people who are stuck in a game. I say yet again because there's a lot of these coming out at the moment, like Sword Art Online and Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash, and things like that. But really, along with .hack, I'd say Log Horizon is a bit of a predecessor, because it came out before the others did. And really, I'd say it's in a class of its own compared to a lot of the other ones. Now, differently to these other ones, with Log Horizon, it actually was a game before they were trapped in it, and they all know about it, a game called Elder Tales. And over time, these characters, they sort of became legends in the game, sort of legends in their own right, known as this group known as Debauchery Tea Party. Now, after this thing called the Apocalypse, when a new expansion pack came out, they were all transported into the world, where they then had to basically live and learn about the game world and sort of expand from there. Shiro, the main character, was the strategist of the Debauchery Tea Party, and he is sort of somebody who was never a member of this guild and guild politics and things like that. Now, after a while of adapting to the new world, he decides to set up his own guild called Log Horizon, and become the head of the Round Table of Akihabara, where they have sort of set up all these guilds to defend the realm against invading monsters and things like that, but also to interact with the people of the land, who are the NPCs of the game, who have become sentient with the new world and have sort of developed their own ways of doing things and stuff like that, and the adventurers need to find out about this. Now, one of the things I like about Log Horizon compared to stuff like Sword Art Online and things like that is it's a far more expansive world, as it doesn't only look at sort of Japan in the game and things like that, where the series mainly takes place over this one guild, Log Horizon, and sort of what they encompass. Mamare, the writer, he wrote these light novels, but he also wrote a lot of background lore and things like that, which is published reasonably regularly. I don't know about how often it's published these days, but about all of the different characters and also the rest of the world as a whole, sort of what happened in America, in China, Italy, things like that. Quite a lot of it is still linked to the main story and how the main story affects it, but it's not directly about the main story, particularly the stuff in America, which is quite self-contained, but is sort of a parallel mirror to the main story, particularly on the fact that food in this world, it tastes bland, until Lord Nyanta, as he's known in the series, figures out that you have to have a chef class and know how to actually prepare the food in order to give the food taste. This was found out in America, and it was used to monopolize the market and to control players. In a similar way that Shiro uses the guild system to monopolize players and in fact Law and Order in the first season. Because over time, the adventurers realize that they need to find some way of policing the world and things like that. Now, the other thing I really like about the way Mamari did it is he sort of invited ideas, he looked at people's fan fictions and things like that, and he actually built characters based off this. And quite a lot of the characters in the universe are actually from other people's works and things like that. And because of this, it has this whole expansive world. And not just that, there are also side stories that are like side mangas and things like that. Such as the Honeymoon Logs, which focus on Crescent Moon and Miriel and stuff like that. And then there's also the West Wind Brigade, which focuses on Soji and his West Wind Brigade and things like that. And this stuff that has sort of translated from canon, from fan stories to canon, I really like, because it gives a sort of expanding nature of the world that means the writer has not just embraced sort of his own ideas, but he's worked a greater conscience into his story, which I think is something really interesting. But this has been a talk on primarily the world of Log Horizon. I definitely recommend the watch, and I would be inclined to say it's probably the best of its genre out there. Like, comment and subscribe.